Released opinion, that's the cure. Cause if you think that you can ignore depression, you might find that it won't ever leave until you feel your feelings.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video, you see the title. It is Chappell the next Lady Gaga? Okay, is Chappell the next Lady Gaga? And I'm doing this series about the next new. I'm comparing the newer generation to the older artists that they resemble the most, okay? Because every artist has like a role, okay? When you look at the newer generation, they take from the older artists and they replicate them a lot. So we're here to talk about Chappell, and is she the next new Lady Gaga? Because there's been so many talks and comparisons about her being the next new Lady Gaga. So let's get into it. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my music, guys. Definitely check it out. Okay, I'm a music artist too. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, in the search bar of YouTube, and my music will definitely pop out, my album, and my newest singles. Also, stream my music on Spotify and Apple Music, okay? So, is Chappell the new Lady Gaga, okay? Now, Lady Gaga was a huge trailblazer during the 2010s. She really trailblazed it and brought theatrical energy, theatrics, talent, musicianship, art, fashion, everything into music. Now we have Chappell, who is giving people this idea because she's very theatrical, very big when it comes to her looks. You know, she does the whole drag look. She's very transformative, and it gives people that memory of Lady Gaga and what she represented in our days, okay? So lots of comparisons between Chappell and Lady Gaga. And Chappell's very talented. She writes her own music, just like Lady Gaga, and has a good voice, just like Lady Gaga. And her alliances with fashion, with the LGBT and the drag community, her being like extra super theatrical and very close to the LGBT, that's also very similar with Lady Gaga, because Lady Gaga was a huge pioneer for the LGBT during her time and represented that kind of drag, industry and culture in terms of fashion and dressing up. So Chappell is the closest to that, especially when you compare her to all the newer Gen Z artists. Chappell is the most theatrical, has the most fashion, is the most transformative with her looks. So it really does bring in a similarity to Lady Gaga, and it can also represent the place that Lady Gaga held during her time. Chappell is that girl for the newer girls of this time. You know, you compare it to Olivia, Sabrina, Billie. She's the most theatrical, colored, LGBT, associated type of artist. So I can see definitely based on the image that they have this very strong comparison. However, I feel like when you get down into their music and even the way they move, this is where I'm like, almost, it's to me more of a superficial comparison. It's the same way I feel about Tyler and Rihanna. I feel like Tyler, comparison to Rihanna, is very superficial and only represents Rihanna's early days in terms of her image. Same thing with here. I feel like with Chappell and Lady Gaga comparison, it's very image based. It doesn't go too far because, one, Lady Gaga's consistency with her music in terms of compared to Chappell is much different. Chappell's talking about putting out another album in 5 years. That's definitely not Lady Gaga move. Lady Gaga had like 3 albums in the first 4 years of her career. Out the gate. The albums were pushing. The passion for music was pushing constantly. Like, Chappell doesn't have that. She's more so like, I don't want to perform. I don't want to do this show this day. I don't feel like putting out an album. I don't want to do this. I want to take my time. She doesn't have that drive that Lady Gaga does. So even though the image is kind of there, the drive, which is such a big part of Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga burned herself out. That's how strong her drive was. you can't really call her the next Lady Gaga if she's gonna take 5 to 6 years to put out another record after her first record. You know, the passion and drive have to be there. When Lady Gaga was in, it was like she was on a mission to be a pop star. You don't feel that drive, okay? Also, musically, they're actually very different. This is why I feel like their comparison is still very, like, surface level, image-wise, because their music is different. Lady Gaga has very, like, techno, up-tempo, futuristic, electro kind of pop music. You know, very boom boom, you know, that fist pumping electro type of pop music. Whereas Chappell, she has a more, like, her sound is way more chiller. It's like guitars. It's it doesn't have that electrical, futuristic, you know, type of sound. It has more of a traditional sound. Her sound sounds more indie. You know, she has a more indie type of sound. You know, her sound's really relaxed. She's not like this like rock metal pop star. She's more giving like avant-garde, indie type of pop star, you know? So the sounds are very different, okay? Lady Gaga to me is more edgy, more electronical, more futuristic. And Chappell is to me more traditional, more indie, more avant-garde, more artsy, classical. You know, she's more classical. So their sounds are very different too. So, you know, again, aside from their image and their alliances with LGBT, that's pretty much as far as it goes. Their sound is very different, very, very different. And the way that they move in their careers, like Lady Gaga, again, like 3 albums in the first 4 years of her career. Meanwhile, Chappell saying in the next 5 years, she might have an album out. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Chappell is the next new Lady Gaga? Do you think it's more of a stretch? Do you think it's a real comparison? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, I feel like it's more of a superficial comparison. I don't feel like they move or sound the same, and therefore they can't bring the same energy. So let me know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to check out my music as well too. You can check it out here on YouTube. Just type my name, and also stream it on Spotify and Apple Music. I really appreciate the support for my music, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.